Can you coat a Dodge Ram 3500 with a single 30 milliliter bottle of Diamond ProTech's Diamond Body 36?
The answer is... Hey guys, Ian here, the Rag Company, and in today's exciting video, we're gonna find out if we can coat one of the biggest trucks on the road with one 30 ml bottle of this. Today, we are joined by Tyler Cucchi from Diamond ProTech. What's going on, man?
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the party here at the Rag Company, where today we have a giant black truck behind us, and we have one crazy idea. So, Tyler, we're gonna be coating this entire truck with one bottle of Diamond Body 36. Is this even possible?
Yeah, so it's definitely possible.
Okay.
Right, and really the reason we picked this was not the fact that it's our smaller size bottle versus Diamond Body or Body 36, but specifically what this vehicle owner needs for this vehicle was more important, right? So something that's got better abrasion resistance, chemical resistance. This is a truck that is used as a truck. We've spent a lot of time preparing it to get to where it is now today.
Yep.
It's not perfect, right? But we want to preserve as much as we can.
And you guys went through and you guys polished everything, and you guys went through and basically really kind of brought the paint back to life. I went through and did a bunch of rock chip repair.
Yeah.
So we did that. So at this point in time, really, this has just been a freshly washed, freshly clayed, freshly polished, and freshly, let's call it chip corrected vehicle, right? But we have yet to actually prep it, right?
Exactly. So what we're gonna do is the entire vehicle with a single bottle of Body 36, which is awesome.
This tiny baby-sized bottle on a 3500. Is it possible? I have no idea. I feel like I would be blowing through multiple bottles, but Tyler says we can do it.
Yeah, we're gonna get it done. And then from there, the vehicle owner does love the idea of the gloss and hydrophobic properties that you would get out of Diamond Body.
Yep.
So instead of doing two coatings, we're going to just top it off with Quick Body afterwards, which is a great way to get those awesome hydrophobic properties that everybody talks about with a nano diamond coating. So we're gonna take care of all the long-term protection with Body 36, and we're gonna grab our gloss and hydrophobic properties out of Quick Body.
Nice. Now we can apply this directly after our Diamond Body 36 application, correct?
Perfect scenario is somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour after. By the time we get around this whole vehicle, we're gonna be right in that sweet spot and ready to go for the next one. And what's great is once we get Quick Body on the vehicle, no matter what the weather is outside, it's ready to go out, ready to be driven, ready to go.
Sweet. So basically we're laying that foundational base of DB36 to give us that actual protection, right? That abrasion resistance, the chemical resistance, all the good things that you'd want from a coating, especially a diamond coating, right?
Yeah.
And then following up with that to get all of that, that beautiful hydrophobic behavior, right? We're going with, of course, our Quick Body.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. I'm super excited.
Let's get it prepped. Let's knock this out and see if we can get the whole truck done in one bottle.
These are the secret weapon for today, our Ultra No Soak Applicators. Now these applicators are extremely special because they have a barrier in between the microfiber and the sponge that prevents the coating from soaking down into the sponge itself. Now what that means is that when you have a coating barrier, right, that coating is going to be sitting on the surface of that microfiber and going to be staying there, right? You don't want it absorbing into the sponge because the sponge doesn't need to be coated, the car needs to be coated. So by keeping that barrier in between there, it's going to prevent that kind of extra absorption into that sponge. It's going to spread that coating further, and we are going to get just more bang for our buck. Now this is going to be the full no soak coating kit. It's going to come with multiple of these applicators, and it's also going to come with some nice Pro Leaf towels. So really all you need to do is just buy this kit and you'll be ready to rock and roll with your favorite coating and your favorite paint prep. But this is what it looks like, and it's got two different colors on both sides here, so you can actually use one for one side of the vehicle, the other for the other side of the vehicle, or you can kind of color code it to whether it's a job today or a job tomorrow. So just a really, really cool applicator, definitely a necessity for this type of application where we're trying to extend that coating as far as we possibly can. We're ready for the appetizer before the main course, which is going to be the paint prep step. Now, Tyler, you jumped up there and you knocked out the hood, you knocked out the roof, you showed off your flexibility, and we were all very impressed. Now, we have an Edgeless 365 in my hand. He's got an Edgeless 300. Again, it's not whose is bigger, it's how you use it. So use your favorite towel for the paint prep step. Now, why is the body prep step, why is this necessary before the coating?
Great question. So most preps are just focused on making sure you remove any residue from polishing, any degreasing processes. What's really different with body prep is it actually activates and preps the surface or prepares the surface to receive the nano diamonds. So there's non-enriched nano diamonds with our prep products, and non-enriched nano diamonds are hydrophilic, which means they really attract everything.
Gotcha.
And that's what body prep and even our glass prep does. It makes sure that that coating is ready to be absorbed and adhered into the clear coat, the plastics, the molding, whatever it might be we're applying it to.
Gotcha. So while the coating itself, like the bottle of coating is like, the main course, right? This is actually required because part of the chemistry for that to work is actually in this bottle right here.
This is what literally takes the coating and pulls it into the pores of the surface that it's being applied to.
Very cool.
That's what gives you the best durability, best longevity, all the fun stuff.
Cool. Makes sense. So this little bottle here is actually plenty. So this is more than enough to do the whole truck here. You could probably actually get a couple trucks with just this one bottle right here, which is pretty cool. And so the 30 ml bottle though, well, that's the test, right? Can we actually do it? So for the prep step here, we're just gonna go around the truck, right? Hood's been knocked out, roof's been knocked out. We're gonna go through and prep everything that we're going to coat, meaning that if we want to coat the headlights, we need to prep those. If we want to coat the grill, we need to prep the grill, and so on, right? The only thing we are not coating the glass, right? So nothing as far as glass work, and we're also not really heavily going over the trim, not necessarily, right? We can, but depends.
We've got some painted trim. Let's make sure we get the painted trim, but we're not going to go crazy and try to get every single little bit everywhere. But let's make sure we get the
mirrors. Can we do mirrors?
We should definitely do the mirrors on this truck. So painted trim, mirrors, we'll make sure we get that done for sure.
Sweet.
There we go. Pro tip for grills like this or other complicated grills, you don't just have to spray the body prep on the surface. You can spray it on your microfiber towel and then apply it to the surface with your microfiber towel. Flip over to a dry side and wipe off any excess. And that way your grill is prepped and activated to receive your coating as well.
Done. We are ready for the main course, which is about time because I'm getting pretty hungry. How is this done?
Yes, so everything's been prepared. We've got our 30 milliliter bottle of Diamond Body 36. Quick, easy. We're gonna shake it for 15 seconds.
This is a necessity, right?
This is a necessity. So you can hear in there that little bead, that little crystal in there that helps mix everything up, right? So big thing with all of our coatings is our composite coating. Composite's just a big fancy word that means multiple parts, right? So we have nano diamonds, PHPS, all those fun things in there. We wanna make sure they're mixed together very well. We're gonna do 15 to 20 droplets of coating on our No Soak Applicator.
Again, it's nice because this coating is not going to absorb past that no soak barrier. It's not going to get into the sponge, so we're leaving more here on the surface for more workability.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got a pretty large panel that we're working on here, so we might need to come back and revisit. But my favorite way to tackle big panels like this is I always go and split the panel in half. This is like my puddle line, right? And then once I've got my puddle line, I'll do an outline.
Box it in, Gotcha.
And then this way, when I go back and forth,
you're spreading it as you're doing it.
Always running through that puddle line, which is really nice. And then when I get to the top, I am going to put some more product on this applicator just as we keep kind of priming it for the complete job. Down the road, we won't need to always
you don't need
reapply.
To this will be good. So immediately what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing, it looks like it's a rainbowing effect, but we're not calling it a rainbow effect, right? We're calling it basically...
So it does rainbow a little bit, but that's not when we're ready to take it off. So I went left to right the first time, so now I'm gonna go back and go up and down.
So is this technically a second application, or is this just in the first application just spreading more product?
So because the panel's so large, normally in a crosshatch I would have gone up and down, left to right. with the same amount. I added more coating just because of how large this big black truck is.
Gotcha. Yeah. We're actually seeing much better coverage here after that second coat, because your first coat that you had done, I could kind of see where you had applied, but then we had some pretty large gaps here between the paintwork, right? But after going back through that second coat, now it looks really seamless in terms of that application. And so that looks much better.
Now, what you'll see is, yeah, there is some of that rainbowing like we were talking about, but that's not ready to be leveled out. And this is what really makes Diamond ProTech a little different. Up here, we can start seeing where it's becoming chalky and white. Yep. And if we actually take our finger and rub it, we'll notice it goes away without any smudging really. Yep. Where in these rainbow areas, it's still smudging. It's still wet. We shouldn't be dealing with a coating that smudges. We should be dealing with a coating that wipes away very easily.
You're right. Basically, it is kind of like that chalky, but right when you just lightly graze your finger on it, it starts coming off, which means that that's getting ready to be removed, right?
Yeah, one of the big things that we were kind of talking about earlier was, Diamond ProTech coatings really rely on a good dwell time because of that penetration. Rather than sitting on top of the vehicle, we penetrate, work with the clear coat, and actually strengthen the clear coat of the vehicle. Yep. Right? So that's a big difference of our nano diamond coatings versus a lot of other protective coatings out there. But once we get to that, it becomes a very easy leveling process. Okay. If it is smudging, take a break. Wait 30 seconds, go back to it when it doesn't smudge. That's the biggest thing.
The biggest stressful part about any type of coating, right, is the risk of high spots, right, and risk of letting it dwell for too long, right? So what is too long in your opinion for this coating?
Ideally, we're going to be looking for a perfect scenario between 1 to 3 minutes, a minimum of 1 minute. Most of them will take up to 3 minutes.
Gotcha.
If I was going to say we still don't have that dry chalkiness up to 5 minutes, I wouldn't be concerned. But if we're getting past that, we're probably using way too much product.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So you, at what point though, past let's just say 5 minutes, even up to 10 minutes, right? Are you like, oh gosh, we have to remove that? Like the chalkiness is fully chalked. It's ready to be removed. At that point, what's the risk of a high spot? Is it pretty high? Is it pretty low?
You actually have a higher risk for a low spot. When you see first we went left to right, and it really all absorbed in and you
instantly,
that would give you a risk for a low spot. And that's why the crosshatch is so important for us, is it makes sure you have even coverage where there is a little bit of excess on the surface, which is what we're looking here. We've been talking for a while, and I still don't really have any crazy concerns.
I'm looking at this, and I go, yeah, we probably got another minute or two. Yeah, it's fine.
If we did have a high spot, it's pretty easy to just add a little bit more product to our applicator, go back over that area, and it will cannibalize itself, reactivate, and very quickly be able to be leveled out.
Sweet, cool. So we need to grab a towel. So we're going to grab ourselves, feeling like a Rip and Rag XL, but I'm always feeling like a Rip and Rag XL. Is that a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think Rip and Rag XLs are something that you need in your life. You can pick those up at theragcompany.com.
Let's see if we pushed it too far.
That was the slightly too long. The whole thing with the Rip and Rag, the whole plug, the ad I just gave you, that was pushing it. That didn't need to happen. If we would have avoided that, we would have reduced our chance of any type of high spotting. It's not bad. I see a couple lines right here, a couple lines here, but like for the most part, the rest of everything actually turned out pretty nice. But this is actually a cool little teaching scenario because then Tyler can just show you what this looks like just to kind of quickly go over this and knock this down because again, this coating is cannibalistic and will basically eat itself when you go and reapply more.
This is truly a perfect example. I've added some more coating back to the applicator. We do have a little bit of high spots because we're goofing off too much here, right? So simply, I'm gonna go over the whole panel real quick. And what's great is because of the way Diamond ProTech coatings penetrate and work with your clear coat, we don't need to do the whole dwell time like we did the first time around.
You're just applying and wiping?
I'm applying and wiping because the coating that we want to stay on the vehicle is already penetrated.
It's already there.
So we're just taking care of the excess that's on the surface.
Okay. And what does the wipe off feel when you're doing it this way? Does it feel any different?
It's gonna be a little bit more grabby, right? Especially with Body 36. Body 36 is a very slick leveling process. If it's really grabby, like you're used to with a traditional ceramic coating, you're probably taking it off while it's still wet.
Right up there for you, there you go. And it looks awesome too. I mean, it's probably hard to tell from your guys' angle, obviously on camera here, but just at this angle here, it definitely did like just this nice deepening, darkening effect on this panel. It looks really, really nice. And I know that even after we hit the quick body, this thing is gonna be like, it's gonna be glowing. Kevin from HR is going to crap his pants. He's going to give everybody PTO after this truck is done. It's going to be insane. Oh, Kevin from HR, I didn't know you were standing right there. I'm so sorry. Anyways, back to work. It's finished. I think this is done, right? We didn't actually hit up here. We got to go back over here. So actually, it's a good question. In the case, right, that let's just say we have a body panel that's so big and we have to have a cutoff of where we end our coating, right? Is there any issue with overlapping that coating over the top of the existing area that we've already coated? No.
No, as long as you're doing it within that first hour.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? Otherwise, once we get beyond that hour with any of our coatings, your base layer is going to start rejecting your top layer with its own hydrophobic properties. That's what coatings are supposed to do.
Gotcha. So basically, within that hour, it's totally acceptable to re-go over it somewhere, an area, retouch up an area, split a panel in half, do that, and there should be no issues. Because then, right, again, and that's that open window for accepting that quick body. Because again, with outside of that first hour, that's when that coating will start rejecting that quick body, technically, right, at a certain point.
Yeah, body 36 isn't as hydrophobic. There's about a 20-degree difference in that water contact angle, but it doesn't mean that body 36 couldn't start rejecting whatever you put on top of it.
Gotcha.
And that's why we want to do it within that 1 hour window.
Very cool. So I'm going to grab this bottle right here, and I'm actually going to start over there on that fender and knock out a fender for myself, and then we're going to go through and knock out the rest of this giant ass truck. Kevin from HR, this is just an incredible amount of work. I hope you're watching this. Crack this open, apply a little bit for myself here. When I'm reapplying this applicator, right, I'm usually only do like 10 drops or so, right? How many?
With this vehicle, we're probably going to stay with some large drop counts, but if you're doing a regular vehicle, you're definitely going to start going down, especially with a no soak. You got to realize your applicator is going to stay wet longer as all that coating staying at the surface of the microfiber rather than being absorbed into the foam in the center of the applicator.
Gotcha. So I just did my application line right there, and that still looks relatively wet. So from there, I'll start actually pulling the coating, and we're going to go up and down up to that top body line there. Apply, apply, apply. I'll come all the way up to the top of this fender. And what I'm looking for too is when I'm typically applying this coating, I'm seeing how much drag there is. If it feels like there's a lot of drag and it feels like my spots between, like I'm starting to see a lot of dry spots in between the application, that's when I know, okay, I got to touch up just a little bit more. So for in this case right here, what I'll do is do just a couple more spots, and then I'll finish out the rest of the fender here, again with cross hatching and going both directions. So I'll knock out this outer piece on that part of the fender, and I'll work around, and I can go over the emblems because again we coated those, go up and down, knock that out, and then go all the way down to that bottom there, and then bring it back up. And then again, you're cross hatching, you're going back and forth, you're kind of hitting it from all angles because you're wanting to make sure you have good complete coverage. Go around this headlight here because we'll do those separately. Again, you can go up and down, you can go side to side, whatever's going to give you the best spread. And then from here, I'm going to let that start to haze up. Hazed up nicely, and the wipe off is exceptionally easy. I think right when you get to that point that Tyler was talking about, it's like that perfect sweet spot of just easy to remove. I don't have to go back over anything. Any adjacent panels I hit are still going to be nice and fresh. I can still just wipe that off. I can flip my towel at any point, go back over. What's nice about this is due to the fact that it kind of hazes up, it reduces the chance of pushing that wet coating or that excess coating into an area that you don't want, making it just easy to remove and easy to identify. So really you only need one towel for this process. You don't have to have two. You can do two if you want to, but you don't really need it. It's not really a necessity. So that's the one difference in kind of the application that I've noticed with all of the DPT products. Quick update for everybody. So at this point in time, we have everything coated other than the roof. So you're probably wondering, how much coating do we have left? This is going to shock you because it absolutely shocked both of us. At this point in time, we still have a third of this bottle left. This is a 30 ml bottle on a Ram 3500 with a third of this bottle left. Absolutely insane, which I think that's a huge testament to the No Soak applicator, showing how much further that goes, but also a testament to this coating as well because of how well it spreads and how easy it spreads and how much coverage we were able to get. So Tyler's finished off the hood right now. Then we're gonna bump up to the roof, knock that out. We've had so much coverage so far. It's absolutely insane to see a third of this bottle left. So I think we're already answering our question. That is, unless that entire roof takes up the rest of this bottle. So let's find out. We have just finished the truck, and we can safely come to the conclusion that, yes, you can absolutely coat one of the biggest trucks on a road with one 30 ml bottle of Diamond Body 36. Are you impressed?
I'm very impressed, but what's more impressive is what do you got left in there?
So there is, I'm not kidding you guys when we say this. This is no movie magic. This is nothing like that. There is still probably about a third, maybe slightly less than a third of Diamond Body 36 left in this bottle, which is insane to us. I mean, both of us, we were just shocked. Now, you're probably wondering, what can you do with this coating? So shelf life on this after it's been open, Tyler, is?
Manufacturer recommendations, 90 days.
Okay.
Ideally, we'd take that, we'd put it back in the box, store it in a nice, cool, dry, dark area.
Yep.
And the biggest, most important thing, if you're gonna use it, do your lawnmower, or whatever other little side projects you may have, is crystallization where that liquid meets the top, right? So
Gotcha. Yep.
you can kind of see it here, where that third of the bottle is still there. Is if you're getting crystallization at the top, that's when we know it's not the time to use that anymore. Okay. Let's go order another bottle.
Gotcha. At this point in time, we finished up with the coating step, so now it is time for the dessert. What do we have left, Tyler?
So what we've got left here is Diamond Quick Body. This can be used as a topper on one of our coatings or can be used as a standalone. Big thing I want to make sure we cover is this Ram's ready to go the way it is right now. Yep. There's nothing making us have to do Quick Body. Okay. But in order to really get that experience of those enriched nano diamonds that we want, Quick Body is going to do that. It's going to elevate our contact angles from around 120 degrees all the way up to 140 degree contact angles. This is going to give us great oleophobic properties, and it's phenomenal for maintenance down the road too. So we can do it like we're doing today, the same day as the application of the coating, or we can do it in the future every 12 weeks, 6 months, whatever we prefer, as we're maintaining our vehicles.
Hell yeah, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the stuff, get ready to go, and we are going to show you guys what an application of Quick Body looks like. Another No Soak applicator in hand, which is great because it comes with 2 in that kit, which is awesome.
Yes.
And we have the Diamond Quick Body. So I'm going to give this floor to you and show us how it's done.
Yeah, simple enough. So Quick Body, there's a lot of ways we could apply this, but today we're gonna do it with a No Soak. Okay. Always want to make sure you shake it up. Again, so a composite product. This is a hybrid nano diamond coating where we do actually have a lot of SiO2 ceramics in this that helps with the gloss and the ease of application, which is really cool. So we could spray it directly onto the panel, but today we're going to use one of our No Soaks. I'm actually going to apply it to the No Soak. And this is just going to help me control any potential overspray. Okay. And kind of the exact same way.
So you'll do like a drip line again, like how you did before, box it out.
I do my puddle line, I do my box.
Okay.
Here, we'll even go crazy. We'll do the whole thing in one go.
Okay. And what's your setup time on this before we have to wipe it off?
So pretty much as soon as I finish getting a good layer on everything, we'll be ready to wipe off.
Okay.
What we'll end up doing that will be a little bit different in the leveling process with this guy is we'll start with one side of the microfiber and kind of buff off the extreme excess, flip it over to a dry side, and then clean up any edges or anything that's left over.
Gotcha. Sweet, looks like it's going on pretty easy. It's not being rejected by the coating right now, which is great because we're still in that window, right?
Yeah.
Towel.
Awesome.
Another Edgeless 365 is what we're using here. Again, kind of jack of all trades towel, works great.
Oh,
and you can tell
that is so slick. I love using Quick Body and Body. One of my favorite leveling experiences is with those two products.
You could tell that was like instantaneous. I could see just how the towel moved. I'm like, that's gonna be pretty freaking slick. And it really just awakes this Diamond Body 36 to give it that feel that a lot of people want. They want that slickness, you know, that immediate stuff, and this is what's going to get you there. I mean, right off the bat.
Yeah, this brings you to a very close and similar experience to our certified exclusive products.
Yeah.
Where you're getting the base layer that Body 36 is giving you everything that us as a detailer and enthusiast wants protected on our vehicle, and you know, and then Quick Body is going to give you everything that the vehicle owner wants, that hydrophobic, that gloss, the oleophobic properties. So we're getting the best of both worlds with this combo, which is really, really cool.
We're going to go ahead and knock this out. It'll be really quick, and then we're going to follow up with you guys after everything's finished and give you our final thoughts. Holy crap. So we just pulled the truck out for the first time out into pure sunlight. This thing looks freaking insane. This truck has so much more metallic in it than we thought, and it's just popping out here in the sunlight. And not just that, just the black itself just looks super, super wet. I'm over the top. I'm like thrilled with how good this looks. What do you think?
I think it's awesome. You're completely correct. I did not realize how much metallic was in this. We pulled it out and I looked at the front end and I was like, what the heck? And so slick. Slick, which is awesome.
And I feel like the sun kind of like has amplified the slickness, and I don't know what ended up happening, but the Quick Body made just such a massive result, and not just the feel of the paint, but just that final layer of pop that you're looking for when it comes to a coating. And what's cool is that this is ready to go. It's ready to go on the road. It can be wet pretty much almost immediately, right? You can see rain, you can see all those different things. How long would you wait for the first wash? What would you recommend?
Ideally, we're gonna wait a week, 2 weeks, okay, right? Doesn't mean we can't let it get wet. Plenty of rain. This is going to do a great job repelling all the rain that we deal with. Yep. If we get dirt, debris, let it sit there, right? That is what Quick Body and Body 36 is designed for, is to let that stuff sit there and get it off after. So in about 2 weeks, you'll be ready if you want to. You probably aren't going to feel like you have to do it for a month or so, but if you're compelled to touch your car 2 weeks from now, go for it.
Next time you see this, we'll be doing a quick maintenance wash and show you what that water behavior looks like. It has been 2 months since we last spoke here on camera. You can actually tell because I have not cut my hair. In those 2 months, this truck right here has accumulated a decent amount of dirt. So that means we're going to be going through with our very first maintenance wash. Now, should you wait 2 months to do your first maintenance wash? Probably not. I think a couple weeks to a month is usually pretty good. But Kevin here, poor Kevin from HR, has been like, hey guys, when do you want to film that second part of the video? And we're like, yeah, we got to get to that eventually. Yeah, we got to get to that eventually. And then 2 months went by, and so he's like, hey, can you please do it? So here we are. So the truck here does have a nice fine layer of dirt on it, but it also has all of the fallout from the 4th of July. Kevin loves the 4th of July, and the 4th of July came raining down on Kevin's truck. So the big ass 3500 Dodge Ram is in need of a maintenance wash, so this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be laying down some active foam as our pre-treatment foam to knock down a majority of the dirt. Following that, we're going to be hitting it up with GSF in the foam cannon as well as our contact wash. And then for the wheels, we have Magic Wheel Cleaner, we have Hydroplastic here for the tires, and then Alkali Wheel Cleaner to scrub those tires before we dress them. And so anyways, this truck is massive. The whole thing was just an absolute bear to coat. I have not been looking forward to this at all whatsoever, but because it's coated, I'm hoping that it's going to go by very smoothly. So with that said, let's grab the bucket and let's get to our first wash and check out that water behavior. We're gonna start with some active foam. Now, normally I probably wouldn't go in with the foam on and then rinse off and do that. But since this is a black truck and we know that it's been perfectly corrected and we know that it has 2 months of dirt on it, let's go ahead and take it as a precautionary thing to make sure that we're giving it its best chances possible, its best clean possible, and try to reduce any chance of marring, scratching, or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and pour in our active. That was way more than I anticipated. That was a couple TRC glugs is what that was. So we'll go ahead and throw this on our MTM and let's lay down some foam. It's rejecting the foam almost instantly. That's a good sign. So most people would say, oh no, my coating's not working, right? It's just rejecting the foam. no, that is your coating working. That's exactly what we're trying to see here, because that's telling me that the coating is doing a good job keeping a lot of that stuff off. And I almost guarantee you, when we go to rinse this, this truck's gonna be like 95% clean. I've been dwelling here for a couple of minutes now. I made my way around the truck with active foam, basically hit from top to bottom, even the wheels as well, fender wells, all of that. So it's gonna probably another 30 seconds of dwelling time, then we're gonna start rinsing. But based on how the coating is reacting to the soap right now, I can tell you that this is gonna clean up extremely, extremely well. I would guess that we could probably rinse this, take a detail spray or a waterless wash, be able to dry it, and it's gonna look amazing. But we will go through and do the full wash because, again, it's black paint. I got the help of Carson, which is fantastic. So right now he's using alkali wheel cleaner and magic wheel cleaner on the wheels, getting all those done up. And so while he's doing that, I'm going to lay down our next layer of foam, which is going to be Coach Chemie GSF. This is going to be for our contact wash. So we have GSF inside the foam cannon as well as the bucket. We're going to go through. Honestly, this doesn't need it. After rinsing this off, I am positive that we could take a waterless wash, a detail spray, something with some light cleaning ability, and go through and just dry off the whole truck, and it's going to be done, and I don't think we would do any damage. The biggest reason why I say that is because the lowers here of the truck, the amount of water behavior I'm seeing from that is just telling me how much dirt came off with that first initial rinse and foam. It's amazing. So with that said, we're still going to go through the process. So let's get some foam on here, grab our wash mitts, and get to cleaning. So this coating feels very nice. Slickness on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm saying 8 to 8.5. Not the slickest coating I've ever felt during a wash, but I mean, it's up there. It feels awesome. And the water behavior, look at this, just off the mitt, just the water in the mitt, creating just perfect beads, dropping down, great self-cleaning power. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and rinse this off now. I have a pretty good feeling that once we take a drying aid and a towel to this, I think it's gonna look just as good as it did the moment we finished coating it, truthfully. I know people say there's nothing that looks like a freshly coated car. Based on the water behavior, how this feels, how easy it was to clean, I think it's gonna look just as good as day one. So let's go ahead and rinse it, dry it, and I will give you my feedback here at the very end. We just finished up with the wash and the drying process. The towel felt great going along the surface, and also using the Ego blower, this thing just dried so easily. It was crazy. So with that said, I was correct. This truck looks just as good as a freshly coated truck. It looks absolutely amazing. The coating has held up phenomenally. It's been 2 months, right? So typically, yeah, that's probably longer than you would go for that first wash. But for some reason, it kind of played to the favor here. There's no micro marring. I'm not seeing any toweling marks or anything like that under the lights. So it really is holding up, and the durability is going to be fantastic. So I see no reason why this shouldn't make it the full 3 years, if not longer than that, with DB36. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We know that plenty of people want to see the water behavior. What does it look like at the end? So we'll give you some more after shots here. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you give us a big thumbs up, subscribe down below for more, and stay tuned for more videos right here at The Rat Company.